Okay, the guy who's coming up next is wearing a hat, probably because he's in the witness protection program. I want to introduce you and bring to the stage a very funny guy whose last name I just forgot. No, Tom McCarter. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom McCarter. And the mic for your hand or in?
No, I'll hold it.
Great.
All right. Hello, by the way. I'm Tom. I'm back 3 times. This is my 3rd time doing this. And it's not by popular demand, I can tell you that. But I am back because I love comedy, and I love the collaborative process that is involved in making this comedy show. And Randy does a terrific job facilitating it. He keeps us from killing each other, barely. And of course, I'm back because I love the fact that it compels my daughter to come out to another of her father's school plays. By the way, was supposed to memorize, but I have notes because I barely remembered to come tonight to the show. So I decided to move to Asheville 4 years ago. I was sitting on the beach reading Einstein's Dreams, the chapter that theorized that people age more slowly at higher altitudes. So I said to myself, here I am, I'm 75 years old, living in Sanibel at sea level. I've got to get my ass up to the mountains. So here I am, living on a mountain in a house on stilts, getting high every night. I'm going to live forever and not remember any of it. Now you know why I need notes. Well, my heart goes out to my friends in Sanibel. Ian was an awful storm. They're all refugees now. God knows where DeSantis bust them. And God will know, because DeSantis is very close to God, maybe even one and the same, which is a good reason for separation of church and state. And then came COVID, and everything got weird. First came the mask mandate. I grabbed an old Halloween mask. I doubted it stopped the virus, but it certainly helped with social distancing. Then came follow the science mantra. I felt I couldn't get out of bed without consulting Dr. Oz. And the ironies during this pandemic, Muslim men had to cover their face in public. A Zoom minion, is that even kosher? Parking was free downtown, but you weren't allowed to leave the car. My dentist was more afraid of me than I was of her. And all those COVID deaths and no funerals allowed. Having my temperature taken every time I went inside was a pain in the ass. It would have been worse with my mother's old rectal thermometer. I actually enjoyed it much more than I should have. Folks thought sheltering in would help families reconnect, like they were back in the Father Knows days best. Domestic violence spiked to historic highs. Maybe they did. Like everyone, I got a pandemic dog, an overweight female pit bull. She barked every time I turned on Rachel Maddow. In fact, she got so agitated, every time she caught the scent of a liberal, I named her Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I took her to Reiki animals to see if they could make her more accepting and kind. The treatment worked for a while. When we walked, she hugged trees instead of peeing on them. But it didn't last, so we parted ways. And can you believe it? That bitch was just elected governor of the state of Arkansas. Well, at least we got diversity. So originally this bit included a kleptomatic ferret waiting to be treated at Reiki, but the feedback killed the ferret. So there's no ferret jokes for me tonight. I think I skipped something here. No, I don't know what happened. Okay. Let's see. All right, this is the bit I should have started with. I don't know what happened. So I originally came into this class, I wanted to do a bit on Peyronie's disease. You know, the curvature, abnormal curvature of the penis. You've seen the ads, you know, for the penile, the unbend me penile erectile traction system. You know, the ads they showed a picture of a deformed carrot because you can't show a dick on television. So here I am doing this bit, and after it, I was going to do a bit about how perverts like Peyronie's disease because they can expose themselves around a corner and get away quick. Well, the feedback on this was people aren't going to know about Peyronie's disease. They're not going to know what the hell you're talking about. And the other is you shouldn't be talking about penises at OLLI, especially when your daughter's in the audience. I also, on the other bit, got pushback for unkindly referring to Sarah Huckabee Sanders as a pit bull. So I want to apologize to any pit bulls that might be in the audience. So I want to do a shout out to President Trump, ex-President Trump, former President Trump, for sending us the first stimulus checks. They really helped. Of course, he insisted on personally signing each check, which saved us money because the Magda folks didn't cash the checks, they framed them. So a couple of years ago, I took a class here called Breaking 100. I thought it was tips on aging. Instead, they handed me golf clubs. So this term, I wanted to take a class called Understanding Stupidity, but they wouldn't let me in. I think they were talking about me. So I'm considering teaching a class on global warming for the spring. Now, remember back in 1958 when nobody gave a crap about global warming? But the movie The Blob, that jelly-like thing that was absorbing everything it came in contact with and was growing larger and larger and threatening to devour Steve McQueen and every other living thing, and it couldn't be killed, but it could be immobilized by freezing cold. And so it was airlifted to the frozen tundra, and that keeps us safe for 70 years, and will continue to keep us safe as long as it stays cold. Well, the feedback on this, The Blob is no joke. Apparently you agreed with that. But think about it. This feedback killed my ferret joke, killed my penis joke, but it didn't really kill the blob. So stop global warming or the blob is gonna get you, and me. So did you see where Marjorie Greene accused Pete Buttigieg of emasculating automobiles? My God, the far right is afraid of books. They banned Little Red Riding Hood. They're afraid of drag queens, and now they're afraid of gay cars. What are people gonna think when you say you're going to the car dealer for a full lube job? All right, this is a millennial taking responsibility for his actions. Sam Bankman-Fried. ICYMI. SBF. FIX founder tweeted OMG TBHIFKD up TYIAMO. I think this means you ain't gonna get your money back. And the joke's on you. So this summer I was in New York. I took a bus uptown. It was crowded and I was strap hanging. An attractive woman was sitting in front of me. Our eyes met. She gave me a warm smile. My heart raced. She stood up. She was very tall. I looked up. She leaned down and whispered gently in my ear, "Your fly is unzipped." Well, that's when I knew, no, I'm getting old. So doing stand-up is fun, challenging, and very rewarding. Everyone should try it at least once. But it's time for me to sit down. No more stand-up for me. For my next gig, I think I'll audition for my 600-pound life, the reality TV show that records the daily lives of the morbidly obese. I know I have to grow into the job. But my alter ego is kind of heavy and certainly a little morbid, so I think I got a shot. All right. A word and a holiday wish for a couple of folks. Where am I here? Oh, yeah. All right. A couple of holiday wishes for President Biden, who has shown he can do his presidency thing very well in his sleep. And I wish a paint-by-number set for him to ease him into retirement. It worked for Bush. Don't knock it. And for ex-President Trump, maybe I should say triple ex-President Trump, whose broken syntax and circular reasoning always ends up in the same dark place. I wish him a custom-tailored suit in his favorite color, orange. And in the spirit of the holidays, I'll tell a joke that radiates forgiveness and empathy and gratitude. Hillel, a young boy living in Europe, lost his parents in the Holocaust. He escaped and made his way to America. Helped by cousins, he planted roots, got a good job with a supportive employer, and made many good friends. And he was very grateful. And then he won the lottery. Hillel wanted to share his good fortune with the people that helped him. He held a party and gave each person a substantial amount of money. A man dressed in a Nazi uniform arrived at the party, shocking everyone. Hillel greeted the man and gave him a check for $1 million. Hillel's friends were outraged. How can you give money to people that destroyed your family? Hillel said, "You don't understand. They gave me the winning numbers." Oh. Well, I wish you all a very healthy and peaceful Happy New Year.
Tom McCarter, everybody.